Shocking revelations. Lori Lightfoot's investigation exposes Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's financial scandal. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has just dropped a game-changing report on the embattled administration of Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and the findings are nothing short of alarming. Hired by 4 village trustees to investigate Henyard's spending habits during her 3-year tenure, Lightfoot's preliminary report uncovers a deeply troubling financial picture in Dalton, a small village now buckling under a staggering $365 million deficit. While Lightfoot emphasized the investigation is ongoing, she made it clear the public deserves transparency. We believe it's very important to come before the American public, so you have some context for the current state of your finances, she told a packed room of concerned residents at the Dalton Park District. And the early findings paint a grim picture. Lightfoot's team has uncovered shocking levels of financial mismanagement under Henyard's leadership. Among the most jaw-dropping revelations, in just one single day, Dalton racked up a $443,000 bill on Amazon purchases. The village doesn't even officially have an Amazon account, but someone has been using a municipal credit card for massive online shopping sprees. The report also details a string of questionable purchases from major retailers like Target, Walgreens, and Best Buy, all charged of village accounts, but rarely with receipts provided. As Lightfoot put it, receipts for credit card purchases are rarely provided. The credit card balance comes due every month, but these expenditures don't appear on a board list and are therefore not presented to the board for approval. Lightfoot has already flagged this as an area requiring immediate reform. The village's board needs greater oversight of all municipal spending. The financial recklessness doesn't stop at shopping. Dalton is now facing a mounting crisis with unpaid vendors, local businesses and service providers who are still waiting for overdue payments. Meanwhile, the report raises serious concerns about excessive police overtime and miscellaneous police department expenditures logged in county records, which are currently under review. These spending habits have contributed significantly to the fiscal disaster now threatening the town's stability. As Lightfoot noted, there's going to have to be some tough decisions. Beyond reckless spending, the report touches on even graver allegations. Henyard is accused of using village funds for personal expenses and diverting community resources for her own interests. One of Henyard's close allies, Deputy Chief Lewis Lacey, has already been swept up in legal troubles, facing federal bankruptcy fraud charges. His lawyer claims prosecutors are trying to pressure him into cooperating with a broader investigation into Henyard's administration. Henyard is also the focus of multiple lawsuits, with plaintiffs alleging she has retaliated against critics and failed to uphold her responsibilities as mayor. Public confidence in her leadership has sharply eroded. The public backlash has been fierce. At a recent council meeting, frustrated residents directly confronted Henyard, demanding to know, where did all the money go? Many city workers have reported they are not being properly paid, even for work that had been pre-approved in the budget. Residents are now calling for Henyard's resignation, accusing her of dereliction of duty and gross mismanagement. This growing wave of anger has been fueled by Henyard's reputation for brushing off criticism. According to insiders, anytime concerns are raised directly to her, she dismisses them or retaliates, deepening the climate of fear and mistrust at Village Hall. In her remarks, Lightfoot struck a tone of caution, underscoring that these are only preliminary findings. But she didn't downplay the severity of the situation. We have more work to do, she acknowledged, but she wanted residents to understand the urgent financial risks Dalton now faces. The investigation has already revealed multiple weaknesses in Dalton's financial controls, including a lack of basic accountability for credit card use and an absence of board oversight over key spending decisions. Lightfoot emphasized that correcting these failures will require significant reforms and likely some painful fiscal choices. For Mayor Henyard, the walls appear to be closing in. Her tenure has been marred by scandal after scandal, with a growing chorus of critics accusing her of prioritizing her own interests over the needs of Dalton's residents. Once seen as a rising political star, Henyard now faces demands for transparency, accountability, and, increasingly, resignation. At the close of her remarks, Lightfoot offered a somber reminder. The damage done by years of mismanagement will not be easy to undo. As the village grapples with its massive debt, unpaid bills, and a crisis of public trust, Dalton's residents are left to wonder, how much more will they uncover breaking? Is Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard on the run? Shocking new revelations uncovered ***, hold on. Things just took a dramatic turn in Dalton, Illinois. Mayor Tiffany Henyard has not been seen in public since last Monday, when she abruptly shut down what was supposed to be an open trustee forum, ejecting attendees and leaving residents stunned. Since then, rumors have swirled, and now, new revelations suggest the situation is far worse than anyone imagined. Hashtag $7 million misappropriated. And silent recently, it broke that Henyard allegedly misappropriated $7 million of Dalton's public funds. But when reporters and residents sought answers, she was nowhere to be found. Curious, I dug deeper, and what I discovered is shocking. Hashtag 3 LLCs. All dissolved after FBI probe began. It turns out Henyard had ties to 3 LLCs that were involuntarily dissolved after federal investigators began closing in. Two of the names stand out, Good BR and Mondo Burr, clear nods to the 1997 comedy Good Burger and its rival Mondo Burger. Why does this matter? There's suspicion that these shell businesses may have received substantial checks from the city of Dalton over the past few years. The timing and the abrupt dissolutions raise major red flags. Hashtag operating under a different name. Adding to the intrigue, Henyard appears to be going by her middle name, Aisha, in some circles. She once ran a real estate agency called Aisha Properties, and some sources now claim she's using Aisha as a cover. Let's be clear, she may not literally be on the run, but many residents suspect she's trying to avoid public scrutiny. If anyone spots her, some are even suggesting they contact authorities. Hashtag troubling hiring practices. The list of controversies doesn't stop there. Henyard's hiring decisions have triggered alarm throughout the community. She has appointed individuals with serious past allegations and criminal histories to key village positions. One particularly troubling hire was a former campaign worker who, despite a conviction for an offense involving a minor, was made Dalton's code enforcement officer, a position of public trust. Even more shockingly, Henyard allegedly floated a proposal to slash the mayoral salary to just $25,000, but only if she loses the 2025 election. If re-elected, her own pay would remain untouched. Critics call this a blatant power move to discourage challengers. Lavish, unexplained travel. Henyard and her team have reportedly spent over $67,000 in taxpayer funds on luxury trips to Portland, Atlanta, Austin, and New York City. Some of these trips involve first-class airfare and upscale hotel stays. One especially eyebrow-raising expense. Henyard spent more than $700 on a round-trip first-class ticket to Las Vegas to attend a shopping center conference. To date, she has provided no clear explanation for why such extravagant travel was necessary or how it benefited Dalton. Hashtag police misuse in a music video. The misuse of Dalton's police force has also come under heavy fire. Henyard allegedly used uniformed officers to film a music video, a highly questionable use of law enforcement resources. Additionally, she has kept a full-time police security detail assigned to her, a team originally put in place after 2021 protests but never reassigned, even after the immediate threats passed. One of her police hires is also facing personal bankruptcy, further raising questions about her judgment. Hashtag 9-count indictment looming. If all that weren't enough, Henyard now faces a 9-count federal indictment that includes charges like bankruptcy fraud, false statements, and perjury. Each count carries a potential penalty of up to 5 years in prison. And for those tempted to make this a racial issue, don't bother. Corruption is corruption, no matter who's involved. While some critics have hesitated to report negatively on Henyard, mindful that she is a black woman in a position of power, the sheer weight of these allegations has made it impossible to ignore. Hashtag self-promotion and community outrage. Henyard's apparent narcissism has further alienated the public. One poster for a recent event where she handed out free backpacks to children prominently featured her own face with the phrase, "I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it." Many saw it as a self-serving stunt. But perhaps the most explosive twist came when Henyard fired Dalton's chief of police, right as he was investigating her office's handling of village funds. According to insiders, the chief had been examining whether Henyard illegally funneled taxpayer dollars into a privately owned cancer awareness charity, a serious criminal offense. His dismissal has fueled rampant speculation that Henyard was attempting to shut down the investigation before its findings came to light. Hashtag a mayor in crisis. Henyard's time as mayor has been marked by accusations of mismanagement, corruption, and retaliation. Community members are outraged, demanding answers and accountability. As federal investigators close in, one thing is certain. Dalton's political storm is far from overbreaking. Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard possibly on a run. Explosive new revelations uncovered .. Hold on. Things just got even more shocking in Dalton, Illinois. Mayor Tiffany Henyard has been missing from public view since last Monday, when she abruptly cleared out what was supposed to be a public trustee forum. Since then, the community has been buzzing with rumors And now, new information suggests the crisis runs deeper than anyone imagined. It was recently reported that Henyard allegedly misappropriated $7 million of Dalton's public funds. Yet as the story broke, Henyard seemingly vanished. No public statements, no appearances. Curious to learn more, I dug deeper into her background, and what I found was jaw-dropping. It turns out Henyard had ties to 3 LLCs, all of which were involuntarily dissolved after the FBI launched its investigation. 2 of these companies, Good BER and Mondo Burr, appear to be named after the 1997 comedy Good Burger and its fictional rival Mondo Burger. There's growing suspicion that these businesses may have received large checks from the city of Dalton over the past few years. The timing of their dissolutions, right after the FBI began digging, has only fueled speculation. Adding another strange twist, Henyard is reportedly now going by her middle name, Aisha. She previously ran a real estate business called Aisha Properties, and some claim she's currently using Aisha as a way to avoid attention. Let's be clear. She may not literally be on the run, but many in Dalton believe she's actively dodging the public. Some have even suggested that if anyone spots her, they should alert authorities. The controversies don't stop there. Henyard hiring practices have drawn sharp criticism. She appointed multiple individuals with questionable backgrounds to important roles. One of the most concerning hires was a former campaign worker who, despite a past conviction for an offense involving a minor, was made Dalton's code enforcement officer even more brazenly. Henyard allegedly proposed cutting the mayoral's salary to just $25,000, but only if a challenger beats her in the 2025 election. If she's reelected, her own salary will remain untouched, a move many see as a blatant attempt to discourage competition. Henyard and her administration have also reportedly spent over $67,000 of public money on luxury travel to cities like Portland, Atlanta, Austin, and New York. Most shocking, she allegedly spent $3,700 on a round-trip first-class flight to Las Vegas to attend a shopping center conference, with no clear explanation of how this benefited Dalton's residents. Allegations have also emerged that Henyard misused Dalton's police force for personal and political gain. She reportedly filmed a music video using uniformed officers and has kept a full-time police security detail for herself, even though they were originally assigned only after the 2021 protests. One of her police hires is also reportedly facing personal bankruptcy, raising further questions about her judgment. To top it off, Henyard is now under a 9-count federal indictment for bankruptcy fraud, false statements, and perjury. Each count carries a potential 5-year prison sentence. And for anyone tempted to reduce this to identity politics, don't. Corruption is corruption, no matter who's involved. Many, including myself, have been cautious in covering negative stories about women of color in leadership, but the weight of these allegations makes it unavoidable. Henyard's self-promotion has only added to public frustration. A recent event where she handed out free backpacks to kids prominently featured her face on posters with the phrase, "I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it." Many saw it as a tone-deaf, narcissistic move. Perhaps the most explosive move yet. Henyard fired Dalton's police chief, right as he was investigating her administration's handling of village funds. Reports suggest the chief was looking into allegations that Henyard funneled public money into a privately owned cancer awareness charity, a clear violation of the law. His abrupt firing has sparked rampant speculation that Henyard was trying to shut down the investigation before its findings were exposed. Henyard's time as mayor has been marked by accusations of financial mismanagement, retaliation, and an alarming lack of transparency. As federal investigators close in, residents are demanding accountability and answers. One thing is clear, Dalton's political crisis has reached a boiling point, and it's far from over.